What's going on, guys? So in today's video, we're going to be diving into the world of comic books, because if you're currently not reading any of DC's stuff, you don't know what's really happening. And holy crap, was Batman 55 a freaking doozy, man, because the last page, or the second to last page in this comic book, sets up the future of Nightwing's character, and it is pure insanity. Obviously, if you plan on reading this issue yourself, you might want to click away from this video because there are going to be spoilers, and I'm also going to be talking about what's going to happen in the future with Nightwing. But if you haven't been keeping up with the world of comic books, Nightwing is about to hit his 50th issue in his current run, and usually when comic books hit a big milestone like 25, 50, 75, or whatever, they usually make something special or something crazy happen in those issues for the readers that have been reading week to week or bi-weekly or whenever it comes out. And in Nightwing 50, the big news is that something is going to happen to Nightwing that is going to cause him like this big traumatic experience. Like, Nightwing will forever be changed with what's about to happen. Now, I was like, okay, I don't read that run at the moment. I'm going to pick up the trades and read them later. But I was like, all right, so I'll pick up issue 50 when this big crazy thing happens. Well, apparently they weren't going to wait for Nightwing 50. They make it happen in Batman 55, and it was just crazy. I've said that twice, and I know you're like, just tell me already. But yeah, so let me give you some insight on what's happening in this issue. So what's going on is Batman and Nightwing are just kind of chilling out in Gotham, doing their whole thing. They're patrolling the city. They're kind of Nightwing's being very Nightwing. Like, he's just, you know, doing quips, he's doing puns. He's just kind of being the fun-loving Nightwing that we know to the brooding Bruce Wayne Batman. And he's just, if you guys don't know what's going on, you know, Selina left Bruce at the altar. Like, he's just moping. He doesn't know if he wants to be Batman anymore. He's going back to his roots. So basically, we're back to the dynamic duo in the comic books, which is really awesome. It's so great to freaking see Bruce and Dick Grayson just being a team again. And it's awesome. So like, the whole issue is just Nightwing trying to like cheer up Bruce and being like, hey, remember back in the day when you used to call me chum and blah blah. And they kind of have these cool references to past like dynamic duo kind of things, and it's just really well written. But there's also something else going on throughout the comic book issue, and that is this Russian person has shown up to America, and he's starting to cause some problems, and it looks like he's gonna be an assassin, and we find out later that it's actually KG Beast. And if you don't know anything about KG Beast, he is a crazy mother effer, man. And so he's just going through like very calmly buying guns, eating food, and just doing all of these kind of like just weird, he's just been having a real chill day until you end up seeing him like kill somebody in an apartment to get the perfect vantage point for something, and he starts setting up his sniper rifle. You might see where this is going, but before that happens, Nightwing wants to play a game with Batman, and he's like, Batman's like, no games, blah blah, you know, just being very Batman in this issue. And Nightwing's like, look, let's just both jump off this building, and the first person to use their grappling gun loses. And Bruce is like, no games. And he's all like, it's a training exercise. So they both end up jumping off this building, and they're gonna see who's gonna win. And Nightwing, as they're falling, he's like, I'm totally gonna win, blah blah. He's just being very Nightwing, which is awesome. It's just this cool dynamic. And what happens is Bruce ends up shooting his gun first, and, you know, Nightwing's like, oh, victory for, oh, crap. And he just sees the bat signal in the air, and so he's like, all right, let's go. So they swing off to go meet Gordon on top of the GCPD, and when they finally get there, Nightwing's still being like, what's going on? He's cracking jokes, he's just being the best Nightwing you know, and he's like, how can we help? And then you turn the page, and he gets freaking shot in the head. Freaking Nightwing straight up got shot in the head by KG Beast. He got sniped, and when I turned that page, I freaked out. I was like, oh my god! I was not expecting to see Nightwing's injury in this issue. I thought it was going to happen in his own series. I didn't know it was going to tie into Batman stuff, and I was just super shocked, and I'm so glad that my friend Clay at the comic shop, I told him, I was like, yo man, like, he was telling me, he's like, so do you know what happened? I was like, I know KG Beast comes out in this issue, and he was like, there's some more, and I was like, don't tell me. And I'm so glad I didn't spoil this for me, because holy crap, I was just like, oh my god. I was like, this is insanity. Like, it blew my mind. This is why you should pick up the comic books weekly, people, so you don't get stuff like this spoiled for you. It's awesome. So that's the craziness. And the last page is actually just KG Beast freaking putting his gun away and like walking away, and in the background you hear like, oh, GCPD, we need an ambulance up on the roof, blah, blah, blah. You hear that kind of stuff in the background, which is just, oh, it's so freaking good. Tom King's just like settings and writings and just the world he builds in his issues are so great. Definitely one of my favorite writers right now. But let's go ahead and talk about what's supposed to happen with Nightwing going forward. So this is comic books and not a lot of people die. And Nightwing doesn't look like he's gonna die here because his series is ongoing, and there is this teaser image for Nightwing 50 that pretty much just showcases that Nightwing's gonna live. I will say that I kind of do have an issue with this image. This might just be like a cover, like a, you know, a variant cover or just something they're gonna show. I don't know if he's actually gonna have this scar, which if you really look close to it, the scar is like a Nightwing symbol. But if you pay attention to what happened in the Tom King Batman 55 issue, he looks like he gets shot on this side of the head, and this photo is on this side of the head. So I doubt the bullet's gonna go all the way through, or maybe it is. I don't know if the bullet's gonna go all the way through Nightwing's brain, because you would think that would be instant death, but apparently there have been people that have been shot in the head before and survived. So, I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. It's gonna be crazy if the bullet actually goes all the way through Nightwing's head, or if it's just gonna like shoot him like this, you know, but maybe like chip part of his skull or his brain. I don't know, we'll have to read the issue and see what happened. But if it doesn't go all the way through, it just seems like the artwork and the artists weren't really talking to each other, because it seems like the bullet got shot on this side. You know what I mean? So anyways, Nightwing is gonna live, or is he? Dick Grayson is going to be alive. That is 100% gonna happen. But Nightwing may be no more. And the reason I'm saying this is because in Nightwing 50 and the issues that follow after that, 51 through 53, there's information that has come out talking about what's going to happen. And apparently what is going to happen is Nightwing is no longer, or I should say Dick Grayson is no longer going to remember who he was. This is a quote from Newsarama about what's going to happen in the other Nightwing issues. It says, our hero doesn't remember training to fight, being a member of the Bat family, or being a superhero, and he could not be more content. So it looks like everything that Dick Grayson has known about his life, of being Nightwing, of being Robin, you know, running the Teen Titans, all of that jazz, he is going to remember none of that. So, and apparently he's gonna be okay with it. Like, he's gonna have a new life, and it's gonna be really interesting to see if Dick Grayson is gonna continue being Nightwing. Like, what is gonna bring him back to being Nightwing? Is it gonna be him maybe remembering that his parents died, and that is why? Because, like, there's no mentioning of maybe he doesn't remember if his parents got killed. We don't know. We're gonna have to read the issues. But this is gonna be insane, because this could be just a different parallel from what we know with Batman. We know that Batman's driving force is his parents' death, and he constantly is going to keep fighting for that. But what if, you know, Dick Grayson going through his traumatic injury, he'll just come out of it being like, you know what, I can live a normal life. I don't need to be a crime fighter. And it's going to be crazy, because Dick Grayson has always changed over the years. And if, you know, if they decide to go in a route where he's no longer Nightwing, it's going to be interesting to see how they continue to keep telling his story. On top of that, we know that Nightwing actually protects Bloodhaven, so what's going to happen with Bloodhaven now? They're not going to have a vigilante anymore. So will somebody else take over the reins? Will another Bat family member move over there to help out Dick Grayson? It's going to be really interesting to see what they do. There hasn't really been any information on that. But it does make it really exciting to pick up these Nightwing issues, and I'll more than likely be doing that on a bi-weekly basis or whenever they come out. So yeah, guys, this is, if you're not reading the comic books, there's some crazy stuff happening in them, and this is why, you know, you might love the movies. I love talking about the movies. I love talking about the shows, but the heart and soul of comic book characters will always be in the comic books, and their best stories will always be in the comic books. And if you haven't checked out any of your local comic book shops or anywhere that sells comics, you should definitely do that, because man, these are some great stories that are being told about some of your favorite superheroes. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. Guys, I hope you liked this video. Let me know if you want to talk more about comic book stuff, because I read them on a weekly basis, and I don't know, I just thought this was amazing. Of course, every time I see something in the comics that I absolutely love, I feel like I gotta share it with you guys. But yeah, that's it. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of all over the place with just reading that. But if you haven't seen any of my other videos, definitely please go check this out. Give them some love, give them some likes. Also hit that subscribe button if you want more nerdy goodness on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I have my daily dose of juice, see you guys next time. Bam!